Alright, so I have some successful prints finally. Again, where do I start? So after a handful of successful prints, I was having some issues with the whole Z-axis arm sort of tilting, moving backwards and forwards where it shouldn't. When it came off the build plate, it would come off the film. When it came off the film, it would tilt one way or another because the whole back arm here moved. Tighten that down and not getting any more movement there, so that's great. I was able to get a few successful prints since then. Having another issue where during a print the printer would just stop and go back into standby mode, so we'd have to lift the build plate, clear it, and then just restart the print, and it printed just fine afterwards. And this happens arbitrarily, so who knows what's going on with that. While support says it may be a power issue where the power in my house is flickering, I don't believe that for a second. But here are the last few prints that I've done. I did actually all three of these here. These three little figures, printed them all on one print. All three of them on the build plate, which is my first time putting multiple models on the build plate at once, which is great. Prior to that, I was doing single models. These two printed okay. Got a little bit of an issue with parts of the bottom part of the print, so it kind of printed on the side like this. Bottom part of the print, which would be this wing here, got cut off. This other one here printed kind of at a face down sort of angle, more like this, I suppose, on the build plate, and printed mostly fine. Still got a couple tiny little details that didn't print perfectly, but for the most part it's okay. So now, after collecting those three prints off the print bed, turned the printer off, unplugged it basically, because the power supply with the power switch doesn't work, so I got a replacement power supply. Replacement power supplies worked fine so far. Who knows, it may be to blame for the printer just going into standby mode, although that did happen previously with the OEM power supply that came with the printer, but who knows. So after unplugging it, now I get this. Wow, now there it goes. Printer power is on. You can hear the fan kick on there, and this whirring sound probably coming from the fan. So it looks like I'm gonna have to disassemble the whole damn thing again and see what the hell is going on with the fan, because that sound is not good. It doesn't quite sound like bad bearings, like the bearings have crushed or failed, ground down into dust. It sounds like something else whirring around in there. Because I can hear the fan, I can feel the air. The fan is actually functioning. It's just grinding on something. So, we're gonna see what that is. Strangely enough, I just took off the vat and the build plate, tipped it over to take a look, plugged it back in, and No more whirring. Who the hell knows what was going on in there? You see a little fan in there going at it. Hell, maybe there may have been a little piece of debris leaning against the fan. Oh, lighting in here is terrible, but it's a mostly dark, or usually dark room. Huh. Well, I guess I'm going to call that problem solved for now. If it comes back up again, who knows? We'll see what we do.